pages accurately. And we, once we get rolling, we're going to be talking with you guys about adding some other stuff in there. And then the other thing too is the SEO discussion just thoroughly convinced us that we had to move up to the accelerator level and also join Lead Vault, which we did this week.
Awesome. Great. So that Lead Vault, oh man, that's kind of changing the game in a lot of aspects. Makes my job a lot easier, right? Because once we start driving traffic, sometimes that traffic gets lost. And when we have different CRMs out there kind of integrating, if you don't have the right funnel set up or the communication with the client, sometimes I can't tell you whether that was productive or not, right? Even though we might be driving the traffic. So I'm glad you're seeing the value in that. And that was the whole purpose of us kind of working through Lead Vault and kind of marrying the two, kind of like all our digital assets and just creating a system. So great to hear. So what I'm going to do real quick, since it's starting to record here, I just want to kind of give a brief kind of what we talked about last week. That way it's in the recording, and then we can jump into today's presentation and kind of go from there. See if there's any questions. So I'm going to try to keep it to about 40 minutes or so, because I do want some time to talk about any questions and really set you guys up independently with some action items if we're at that point. Okay. So the first thing, and Sal, I think if you can mute yourself real quick, Sal. Are you there? All right, he's good. 1 second. Yep, there you go. Thanks. So last week we covered city pages. We covered optimization of the city pages. What can we do to city pages? So a couple things that we can do. One, you can actually add a video, right? So a lot of you guys are, I know Jordan, you shared, you guys are going into the drone situation. You're getting that stuff done. Awesome. Kim, if you guys are going to start taking some team pictures or creating some videos on there, ask the question on how to optimize those things even further. Because even though you guys are creating those assets, I want my team a part of kind of helping you get the most out of those assets, right? So if it's a video, you can put it into YouTube. We can always edit that. Especially, I know Kim, you guys have upgraded, so our team can actually jump into your YouTube channel and make some updates on there as well. Once you put it on there, we can go in and edit that if needed. Okay. So don't be afraid to kind of let us know if you have some questions on there. All right. And then obviously we did discuss video, images, interlinking, content is the other one. I was very open with you guys that most of you guys have noticed that all the REI or real estate investor type websites, you have what's called a content pack. And yes, it is duplicate content, but it's very optimized, SEO optimized content that will rank. It will do very well, but it'll only get you to a certain level, right? Because we created it in a manner that hits all the important keywords. And after that, if your competition is actually doing SEO, maybe they're using an agency like us, you will get stuck underneath them. And it's not that you're doing anything wrong, is that Google's looking for more value from that page. And that's where it comes up, what we're talking about here, interlinking photos, videos. And if you start adding those assets to your page, including additional pieces of content, like we talked about last week, then you're making your page unique. It doesn't take much for Google to look at a page as of unique or having fresh content on there. So it's very, very simple to do. So for today, we're going to take a small step back. I want to kind of do a quick presentation for you guys on introduction to SEO. So we're all on the same page. It's going to be a small little size information all around SEO. So you look at your website a little differently, and hopefully I'm hoping to grab some questions from you guys and really kind of say some aha moments, or maybe you get lost and you're like, whoa, I didn't know that's the way it worked, and you want to know more. Okay. So I'll go ahead and share my screen real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, so just let me know, guys, if you guys can see that presentation slide right there. You guys are good? All right, so we'll start. I'll go ahead and go full screen. And once I do go full screen, I won't be able to see you guys. So if you have any questions, unmute, let me know. But if you can, if it's not something that's dire important, just hold it till the end. It's only going to be a few minutes to go through this slideshow, and then we will go into questions, okay? So I'll go ahead and kick it off here. All right, guys. So we are going to talk about introduction to organic search, right? What's the importance? So search fundamentals, it's really, really important to kind of know the baseline, the fundamentals of SEO, because at the end of the day, if you learn those, it becomes very simple, as you're going to see right here. So if I had 30 seconds to actually explain SEO to somebody, and that's basically what I'm doing with you guys, what would I say? What is SEO? SEO is a search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is the act of acquiring traffic, right? From search engines for our digital assets that we own. So what does that exactly mean for you guys? It can mean a lot of things, because for one, you guys have a website with us. That is a digital asset that you own. So with SEO, the whole intention is to acquire that traffic from Google and bring it over to your website. Now, for some of you, it might mean the website and a Facebook business page, Instagram page, whatever that means. So overall, SEO is just optimizing those assets to drive that traffic from search engines, okay? All right, so one of the things that I like to do is actually look at certain things on what it is not, right? So the misconceptions, trying to kind of bury those myths on what SEO is not, is sometimes a good conversation as well. SEO is not buying traffic, okay? So this is not ads. A lot of PPC conversations come up within SEO. Is that what it is? And I want to just kind of like squash that now. It is not buying traffic. We're actually doing tasks to drive traffic for free to our digital assets. And then SEO is not a scam. So everything that we teach, everything that we're going to be kind of showing you, even when it looks, we call it gray hat, kind of like it, straddling that line. Black hat means that you're doing something illegal. If you didn't know that, these black hat tactics are stuff that you're actually intentionally trying to break the rules within Google to gain some kind of result, right? Some kind of good result, outrank your competition. Unfortunately, a lot of those black hat methods, they work for a little while, and then you get basically what's called thrown in a sandbox, and you're no longer able to be indexed within the Google index. So that's one of the things that we've got to watch out for. And then, is SEO against the Google search or any search engine's terms or service? It is not. We follow all their terms and service. So everything that we teach, including, I get the question a lot with content, right? Duplicate content. At the end of the day, Google is duplicate content. So that's why there is certain things that we do, why we kind of have our content pack set up a certain way, and then why I coach to actually make changes to that content pack. Because like I said, that content pack is good, but it's only going to get you so far. And eventually you will have to put stuff that's what we call fresh content or unique content that's specific to your company. And that's what kind of helps you get over that hump of beating your competition. And then SEO is not just for Google. We're also competing in Bing. There's other search engines in Yahoo, and there's many more. We'll look at a couple of them, but there's many more. The reason we focus on Google and we always talk about Google is because if we optimize correctly for Google, we will automatically, in theory, rank on these other platforms as well, other search engines. Okay, so we've seen that over and over. Once you start getting, just so you guys know, once you start getting into the accelerator dominator, we're actually very intentional that you actually rank in Bing, Yahoo. So we actually look over there for what we're going to be learning here. If you're going to be doing a DIY kind of campaign on your own or whatnot, I would ignore all the other search engines and focus on Google, because you will also reap the benefits if you follow the instructions for Google. Okay. And then SEO is not fast. Unfortunately, SEO is one of those things that's more like a marathon more than a sprint. When we compare certain digital strategies, paying for traffic is a sprint, right? You can put up a landing page and drive a bunch of traffic, possibly convert some, but if you stop paying, you disappear completely. With SEO, you're building an asset, a valuable asset on the internet that will stick for a long time. And the great thing about SEO, it does take a while. It's like a big, heavy flywheel that you're trying to create. But once it gets going, it's just really hard to stop, because once it gets momentum, it's up there. It's very popular, and it takes a lot for competition to knock it down, right? So that's why it's a little slow, but it works really, really well. And then the final thing is, it's not very hard. At the end of the day, once you get the fundamentals and you kind of see how it all works, it's just a repetitive process that you just need to stay consistent. Okay. So SEO really comes down to three things. So I apologize here. My slide kind of did something funny here, but it's okay. It comes down to three things: document relevancy, authority and attention, and technical optimization. We'll be covering all three of these sections here. So document relevance, creating pages that users are looking for and that search engines understand. Okay, so your city pages, right? Those are very important pages that you got to create that your users want to find. They have important information. Your service pages, blog posts, those are all documents and those have to be relevant, right? Authority and attention, that comes down to metrics. We talk a lot about Google Analytics and all these metrics that you have to kind of go through. I mean, it could be, things like links, views, downloads, calls, things like that. You have to be able to measure that stuff to then see how it is. And Google uses some of those metrics to decide what pages, what documents are going to rank higher and which ones are going to rank lower. Okay. And then the technical optimization comes down to all the technical stuff that we usually handle for you in many aspects. For example, we handle your hosting, we handle your template, right? Your website template, all the content that it gets kicked off. So this technical portion, a lot of that gets handled by us. So that's the good part, but that is a major piece. So even though we might not have everything in the document relevancy that's going to be very relevant to your particular company or the authority and attention, right? All those metrics, the technical piece we nail for you. And that's why your website will rank very well. So some of you guys that are in lower competition markets, you tend to rank really well right out of the gate. For those of you in medium to higher competition markets, it takes a little more. So that's why we go into, building links, trying to get views, opt-ins, right? Just the interaction on the page makes you look a little more popular. So document relevance, let's dive a little deeper into this. Many people don't remember or actually don't actually remember life without Google. And if you guys remember some of those old search engines, I see you, Sal, kind of nodding your head. I graduated high school in '99, started college right after that. And I remember, some of these search engines and how horrible they were, right? So, I'm going to kind of go through Alta Vista, Excite, Yahoo, Dogpile, see what else here. Basically, at the end of the day, all we can agree on is that they were horrible, right? Before Google, some of these search engines just horrible. Why? Because they could not get the document relevant documents for the searcher. So they used to basically not give you the right information. So what I want to do is kind of make sure that when we talk about this, that you guys understand how important the relevance of your documents need to be for you to rank well. So with that, you look at your website, you should be looking at your city pages, your service pages, and your blog, right? And making sure that all those pages answer the question, right? We kind of go into document relevance, really is two things. It kind of breaks it down really, really easy here. It's the search engine's job to understand what the users want and help them find it. That's basically Google's job, right? And it's our job as marketers. In this case, you're in this class here, you got to put your marketer hat on. It's your job to create awesome content, right? That basically answers the question for your users. Increasing authority. So this one right here, imagine you had to pick the best 10 pages out of millions of results. And you got to ask yourself, what kind of metrics am I going to use to actually make those decisions? So these are the things that are really important for you guys to understand for your pages, right? So broadly, it depends on what type of search engine you are, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Google or something like that. But broadly, we're looking at links, right? And links are basically someone on the internet mentioning your brand and then having a backlink to your page. And it could be any page on your website. There should be a strategy. You can actually build links to independent pages. For example, we tend to build a lot of links back to your city pages, for example. Clicks, this engagement portion right here, clicks and engagement, that's huge because you can actually artificially, basically kind of a little bit game the system because you can tell all your friends, family, colleagues, things like that, when you're brand new to go to your site, to search a certain keyword, and you will get this engagement and clicks up. And that metric can help your rankings just at the beginning. Once the flywheel gets going, it does it all on its own because the traffic starts coming. They start engaging with your site. Google starts seeing that, and that kind of just sticks and keeps your rankings going up. If we are on YouTube, we play on YouTube quite a bit in regards to trying to rank your sites. We kind of combine those two views. So when we actually put up a video, we talked about this last week. If you create a video for a city page or a blog, make sure you just don't pop it up there. I did kind of encourage you guys to reach out to us so we can help you optimize that even further. But once we do that, we want to invite everybody we know to go watch that video because we want people views, right? And that's going to increase traffic, kind of just the metric. We're just going to the metric for engagement. And what we do, we put a link in the description back to a city page or a blog post, and that's to increase the power of that link that's coming back to your website, which will increase that vote for your website, which in turn will increase your rankings as well. If you had an e-commerce or you're doing anything like that, then sales become a factor. Favorites, that's another one, like social media, something like that would kind of increase your stuff there. Likes, obviously in Facebook, we're all kind of familiar with that. But calls is another one that's important to you guys that's not on here that I missed to put on here. But calls is one that we're really, really pushing, especially with the Google My Business or Google Business Profile. Now that call tracking, call metric becomes a big factor as well. Because that's basically what we're pushing towards to get more calls for you guys on your Google My Business profiles. Technical optimization. So here, there's more than 1 billion websites out there. Technical optimization is the process of making it easier for search engines to find us. Just a couple things to keep in mind. Search engine isn't just for, obviously, we talked about this, is just not for Google, but these are all the different assets that you can potentially get traffic back to your website, right? So if you look at this list, these are some of the things that you can create, your digital assets that are out there that can generate traffic for you guys. Okay, so we got YouTube, Amazon, Pinterest, mobile search. Everybody looks at desktop, but mobile and desktop are two different platforms that actually Google kind of separates those metrics as well. This one right here, the GBP and GMB, which is your Google profile, business profile, is becoming very important. And the reason for that is because it's taking more real estate in the search results than it ever has before. So that right there in 2022, us here at REI Toolbox and Top Results Consulting, we're focusing big. So we're staying very agile on the strategy, and we're increasing our efforts on the GMB, GBP, just because of the amount of real estate it takes on that search result. So that's a good one. If you don't have one yet, I encourage you to go set that up. Yelp, Quora, I know some of these, we put them on here because they are digital assets, but we don't focus that much on them. What these other platforms do, they actually, when you create a profile on some of these platforms, they actually create a backlink. Even though it might be a small little ping, small little vote, it's still a vote. So that's why they're on here. And this list goes on and on and on. So I just put a couple examples on here. Every platform with a search engine has to solve that document relevancy problem. So think about it. Amazon is another big one. YouTube is another big one. So anywhere that there's a search engine, you guys have an opportunity to build an asset there and drive traffic back to your main hub, which is your website. If your content doesn't, basically the main kind of focus is to answer kind of two main questions. Oh, sorry. Let me go back to that one. Here we go. So your content has to answer two main questions to be basically relevant. What's best for our users and what's best for our business, right? So if you can answer both of them, so we're going to go back one, user and business. So when you write this content and you're looking at your city pages, blog posts, service pages, if you can actually answer both, then it becomes relevant, right? That's where you can actually fully say, all right, my document here is relevant. It is good for my user and it's good for my business. So for the user is the value of the content that's on that document, on that page. And number two, for the business, do I have a call to action? Am I providing a good value for them to actually take action on something, right? Opt into something, give something away, phone number, call us, something like that. And then on the technical side, there is a number of algorithm updates I will continue to talk about. These are just kind of historical updates that have happened. I will talk about them on these calls once in a while when they're major and they'll be affecting us. So in the past, we had Hummingbird, Panda, Penguin, EMD. Some of the more, I'm going to go to the other side here. Some of the more popular ones that actually changed the game was the one, the EAT. We talked a lot about that one, the EAT. That one right there kind of affected how the content, who's writing the content. So putting your guys' name as the main author of real estate content that's going on your site, it's going to be major. If you get somebody that you know that wants to write a blog post, someone that has a lot of authority in the space, and you get them to write a blog post on your website and you put them as the author and they have a lot of assets out there, that can actually give you some power. So this EAT section or that update was great for us because all of you guys are experts in your space. So that was one that really kind of changed the game for us. And then kind of the last one there, many core updates. Those are the ones that I'll continue to update you guys on as things change. Right now, there's a proximity update that's affecting kind of your Google business profile. You have to be in that proximity. We can no longer kind of rank in the maps. If we're like 200 miles away, we have to be a little closer. So that's one we're continuing to look at and make sure that we kind of set you guys up to win in that one location that you guys are at. And then what we're going to start kind of wrapping this up with is click-through rate. So a very important piece right here, I'm going to show you two pieces of this graph, is basically what you're looking at here is where is the most of the clicks happening on a search result, right? Where are all those clicks happening and why is it important for you guys to know? I always talk about the 3 golden spots, which is page 1, position 1, 2, and 3. That's where most of the clicks happen. With the data that we looked up and we kind of looked through, kind of analyzed, basically it's the top 5. And not that the top 3 aren't important. Actually, the top 3 are still very important. I will continue to push that. But the top 5, if you go here, 75% of the clicks, and this is a ton of data that they kind of look through. These are different. This isn't from one source. These are multiple kind of assets that we look at and kind of put it all together and gave us a result. These come from the groups, other SEO groups that I'm a part of, trying to kind of get that number. And that number changes a lot. But the most recent one, 75% of clicks are going to happen in the top 5 results. So with that, we're going to end with, if you're not in the top 5 results, you are effectively invisible. And you don't want to be invisible in this game, right? You want to be able to kind of be in front of everybody. So the best thing that we can do together as we go through these lessons, these upcoming weeks, is figure out what pages need to be ranking well, because it's hard to get your entire site kind of to rank at the same time. But if we focus our attention on very specific locations, for example, let's see, Elisa's pretty new to the call. So Elisa, I'm just going to pick on you really quick here, but if you can unmute and tell me just broadly, like, what is the most important city that you guys would do business in and you would really benefit from pretty much getting traffic and leads from?
I would say right now, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati?
Cincinnati or Dayton. Yeah.
Cincinnati or Dayton. So Cincinnati or Dayton, what I would do, I'd concentrate on those 2 locations. Even though your templates and your websites come with 6, I would actually focus on those 2 locations. And now, do you have an office in Cincinnati or Dayton?
Yeah, we do in Dayton. And so I've been following like what you said about how to geotag stuff for that. And I've been working on that slowly but surely. I literally just did that training like 2 days ago.
Awesome. So so since you do have a location in Dayton, that is for all of you guys, that's where I would start. That's basically the one page, the one location where I would focus on. You want to win your branded search, which is someone types in your business name. You want to be number 1, and all the results on that result page basically should be your Facebook page, LinkedIn, and all the other assets, right? Number 1 on your sidebar, you should see your Google My Business, Google Business Profile appear there. That's the goal, right? For your branded search. Number 2, when someone puts in "we buy houses in Dayton, Ohio," or "sell my house fast, sell your house fast, Dayton, Ohio," you want to make sure where it fires off the map pack that you're there. Obviously here at the beginning, you're probably not going to see a lot of that action there, but that's the goal. Through these lessons, like you said, you're already kind of looking at some of those trainings, past trainings, and that's where you're heading. That's where you want to be.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. So what I want to go ahead, I'm going to stop sharing here. Stop sharing. Boom. There we go. I want to dive in because the next thing that we're going to look at is going to be service pages. I want to kind of talk a little bit about service pages, how to pick them. But before we kind of go there, any questions? Let's go ahead and go to questions in regards to just the basic SEO introduction and what it is, and then some city page questions if we still have some. Guys, good? All right, so we're going to go ahead and keep going here. I'm going to open up another website here. And Sal, you okay? You okay if I share your website?
No problem.
Right on. So we're going to use yours.
Not that it's great, but it's there.
There you go. We're going to look at it and see what we can do for
Okay.
next week, right? And see if there's anything that we can recommend here. Let me go ahead and share. All right. So we got Sal here. So first of all, we're going to make this a little bigger. So I have the full menu. There we go. And then, so we've already pretty much covered and nailed down kind of the city pages, how important that is. And you definitely want to do that. So the next thing that we want to start looking at is going to be our service pages, because that's what's going to give you an opportunity to interlink some of these pages just naturally. They should all kind of work together. So we give you some basic setup, a start. We don't know your business that well. So our templates come with some preloaded kind of content for a couple service pages, but don't think that's it. That should not be it, actually. And the content that's on there should that one right there is thin, short content. That's not where we focus a lot of our energy. We focus on the city pages, right? So out of the box, you're ready to go there. But the service pages are where I want to kind of really nail down today. And if it makes sense for you guys. So here, I'm going to hover over Ohana Legacy Property, and you have agents, buyers, contractors, investors, right? So Sal, outside of distressed properties, just in general, distressed properties, just sellers, right? What other services do you feel your company actually offers?
Well, the wholesaling aspect is something that we probably want to put in there. We don't want to limit ourselves, but that's really it's almost like almost like a referral business. We always say that if we can't help you, we'll try to find someone that will help you. So I don't know how we put that into words, but maybe we just put a referral service or something like that. I'm not sure.
Gotcha. So wholesaling, you have an actual page here that it's already built out. Now, this is kind of a good one because you said wholesaling. This might be after you and Chris kind of focus on your city pages and you're happy with that, and you have us kind of rolling with some campaigns. You're like, all right, now it's automated. I'm good with that. That stuff is, once again, the flywheel's working. Now you should focus, because you guys are doing some stuff on your own as well, which is awesome, right? This is where you can help us kind of make your campaign a little stronger. Go to your service pages, start looking at other pages that you can actually build out. For example, here, this content might not even reflect what you want to express as a wholesaler, right? You might want to say, all right, at least I have the page. Let me now kind of reword a lot of this, right? Once again, we don't know what your wholesale business looks like, but this right here also can be packed with keywords. It is not right now, but this is another opportunity that we can actually pack. And now on your city pages, all of your city pages, we can actually mention that too. We also do wholesaling, which we do, right? And interlink that automatically. In most cases, that's already done. We, depending on the company and how we kind of see you guys, sometimes we leave that section in there. Sometimes we take it out. So once you, and the reason we take it out is because you might have not told us about it. We don't see it like a focus. So instead of kind of forcing that on you, we take it off of the city pages. But for you, this might be something we add it back on to all the city pages and interlink, right? So this is kind of one to really kind of nail down, because it is going to be an easy win when it comes
Right.
to your interlinking strategy. Okay.
Okay.
So service pages right here. So these are it. I also want to kind of stress that these aren't all your service pages, right? These doesn't have to be all. If you guys have other services you have, we'll probably use the same template, right? Layout to build out new services, but we don't know that. Like we have Melanin Homes, Lorraine, she does notes. So we built a special landing page, right? Or a service page for notes. That way she can
Right.
push that service out there. So think about what your services are, because I think where you do business and the additional services that you offer are huge. That's going to be big for us to also optimize your Google business profile, because in the Google business profile, we can actually break things down into categories from locations all the way into services. Okay.
So in services, if you focus in on services, we have the people that we work with directly, but we could also put a service in such as, probate. We work with probate homes because that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of blogs about probate and we do a lot of stuff with that. So that could actually fit in there with services.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have someone in the group and I'm sure there's multiple. I just know of one of our people that's in the group that does, she became a certified probate agent,
right? Yeah.
In Maryland. And we're actually in motion and trying to help her kind of create some content around that. That's huge. That's a service that you offer. Another opportunity for you guys is also maybe you have affiliate contacts. Maybe you have a loan officer that you really like to promote, or maybe a loan company or something. We can put that type of stuff on here as well and make it more of an affiliate type connection, right? Now that's going to be up to you how you want to deal with that, because you can actually create it, have a link directly to their website, or create it, have an opt-in form. They contact you and you do the introduction. That's really up to you.
I think we have an affiliate page. Are you talking about the same thing?
Yep. It could be
I just put mine in the chat box there, Sal. They did this one for me. It's like contractors, insurance agents, just people locally that I can throw on here and interlink their websites and all that cool stuff.
Yeah, I think we have something like this, not as elaborate as this, but I think we have something that we started building. Yeah.
This is huge right here. This one right here is another easy way to kind of either link over to that partner's website, right? And that's basically you citing another source. And if they have, it works even better. Obviously, this affiliate partnership is great, but when that other partner has a really strong authority presence online, you connecting together makes a difference with your rankings and your authority. So that's another one that's
we use skip tracing with JP, and that's real powerful. And he's on our affiliate page.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's another one. Skip tracing is good. So that's let me go back to yours. Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
No, that's good.
That's services. So that's another one, easy one that I want to kind of give this week that I wanted to kind of make sure that we're working on. Make sure you identify your services, because what we want to do, especially for you guys that are into higher level packages, and those of you that are not, it's okay, because we can help. Like Jordan, you guys take a ton of action. I know you guys are still on the foundation. Elisa, you're working through your Google My Business profile, right? So having your city and your services nailed down, like really identifying what that is going to help you as we kind of go through the trainings to get your categories correct within your Google My Business profile and help you rank a little higher. So that's a huge one right there. And then I want to kind of finish off here with one more page. That's another easy win that hopefully we can kind of look at. That again, if you don't provide this for us, we give you a templated kind of couple paragraphs, and it is your about page. This one right here is one that we've neglected even internally on coaching around. I want to start kind of coaching more and more around this about page. This, Sal, what I want you guys to do, this is a great example. This is out of the box, right? You have our image, you have, everything's, I can tell you did add another certification, a badge, which is great. But what I want you to do, Sal, I want you to go, you and Chris either get a very specific about us video or picture. That's it. If you want to make it simple, you and Chris go out there, take a picture at a house, one of your properties or whatever, and put it here. I just want a unique picture of the team, right?
Okay.
And then the other thing is, if you want to go, one step further, go ahead and do the video and do your introduction. Now that's basically going to be the first step. Step number 2 is to reread this. Go ahead and do, read it, make sure it tells the story. This should be your story. So if there's more depth that we can put in here, one of the things that we're looking at that's becoming very important, and I like that you guys have living in Houston for 35 years. I haven't read through the whole thing here right now, but if you talk about when you guys started, how the company and when you started, that is going to coincide with the Google My Business profile. That's one of the questions that we're going to be asking for everybody, because we want to put that on the Google My Business profile. So Google wants to know, basically, is this a real company and when did it start, right? So putting that on your about page and on the Google My Business is major.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so like on the location pages, and you title the photos with we buy houses Columbus, Ohio, or whatever, to bump up the search engine optimization. If it's your About Us page and you have a video or a photo or any of the little tag, the cash buyer tag, which I love, I've got that. I need to add that too. What are you entitling? What keywords are you using for that page?
So that's actually a great question. So the About page should be reserved for branded search, which means, what I mean by branded search, your company name. Okay. So, for example, your video, what I would still put it as a public within your YouTube channel, right? If you create a video, and I do our story at company name, right? Or About Us company name. So you're going after the branded search, and then you would take a summary of what you would write here. If I was looking at Sal's here, Sal would actually take what he writes. This should be a little longer, Sal, maybe 400 words or something like that about the company, and then you take a summary of that and use that as your description on YouTube.
Yeah, got it.
Okay,
and that
makes
would be
sense. Yeah, I was trying to keep it short, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, because I know short and concise is good, but for SEO, it's bad, unfortunately, right? The more detail you provide, the better.
I was looking at the wrong customer. The customer is SEO.
Right. And keep in mind, guys, one of the things as well, as we go through this, especially with this introduction kind of course that we're going to go through, we're going to be talking a lot about a lot of content. It comes down to content keywords, how to format all the keywords and where to put them, images, video, and it becomes very overwhelming. And why we're doing this is to get that flywheel going, right? That heavy flywheel. Once you're up there, you can kind of reduce. You can actually start creating and reducing the content. And we can, when you get to that point, we can help that you don't hurt your page. But I get it. Sometimes these pages just become very long and very heavy on content. That's what it takes to get there. Once you're there, we can actually change a couple things to make them a little more user-friendly, in other words. So one of the things that we talk about in our SEO groups outside of here, right, like myself with other SEOs and stuff, it's like you have to talk to your client on what's the goal. Are you trying to do SEO or are you trying to serve the user? You can't do both at the same time, right? So what we try to do is there's a blend. We got to go for SEO first. We got to get you that traffic. Then we start kind of moving things around and adjusting the content to make it more user-friendly. And that's where Sean and I kind of become a great team, because I focus on the technical stuff, SEO stuff. I try to get that traffic, try to get you guys ranking very well. And then once we get there, then we start changing the message a little bit to make it a little more user-friendly and conversion-friendly.
So Roger, question. So let's say we put together a video on YouTube, which is, introduction to Ohana, let's say, because we did this and we thought it was public, but obviously we didn't get it on our webpage. We have to let support know that. Is that right?
Correct. So if we don't have access, I'm sure, I don't know if we do now, I got to check with my team to see if we actually have direct access to your YouTube channel. But if it's not public and you just told us it was there, and even if you sent us the link, we wouldn't be able to access it because it's a private link. So
We
say,
have about 15 videos that we've done, and we're not sure that we're getting them utilized because we're not sure if we're getting them to you the right way. So
gotcha.
maybe there's a way to share with us how we can share those videos with you.
Sure. So we're actually going to just take a look at what time. All right. I got a couple minutes. So we're going to take this. That's how we're going to end it. So we're going to look at your YouTube channel real quick, Sal. So we got this. We'll see all the videos.
Yeah.
This the correct one?
No. There's another one. What the heck is
Ohana
this?
Legacy Properties.
This was a long time ago. This is when we were with another organization.
Let's see. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right. So we're going to go to all videos, and I'll change out that. We'll send that. I saw where it's at. So I'm going to send that over to support. That'll be changed out.
So how do we do that from now on? Because we're doing another one now too. Just send it to support.
Yeah. So video, you're talking about your videos, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is why you're
good. We thought it was linked up, but obviously we got like 15 videos here, and we need
correct. So what you would do, here's a kind of a quick one right here. Which one of these did you create for your welcome video? I think here.
It says it's here somewhere. Welcome to.
See if we can do.
Welcome video. Here it is.
Oh, here we go.
First one on the right. It's not perfect, but it's something for now. We can redo it.
This is good. So if you guys kind of saw Ohana Legacy Property LLC, take that note just so you kind of get some ideas here. This is actually pretty good, and it looks like it's all public comments. Looks like it's good. So Sal, say you create a video, and this goes to every video you create on YouTube that's public. You would get this. You would actually go here, share, right? Once it's live, share, and send us this link. All you have to do is click on that copy. You'll send us an email to support, and you'll say, hey guys, just created a new video. Here's the link. And you'll paste that link in there, and you'll send it over to us. At that point, we can actually analyze. If you say we created a blog post and you actually created that video special for that blog post, right? You'll just tell us what blog post it is. If you're kind of confused on how you should utilize this video on your website, send it over and tell us that. Hey, I created this video, is good content. Just want to say, because we might actually get an idea and create a blog post for you for that video. Like we'll actually.
Well, you guys created one on how to prepare for winter, and how to prepare your house for winter, and we just finished the video. Chris, I think he just finished it up, and we put it in video. What can you do to make to get ready for the winter? So it was kind of like fun, actually. I think it's further. I don't know where it is exactly up here. Yeah, it's up further.
Oh, it's one of the newer ones, probably.
Yeah, it's this first one.
This one?
Yeah, you can see me cleaning cabinets. I mean, it's just.
Gotcha.
We just did stuff just to play and try not to make it too professional, but it looks pretty good, and. And
this is one of the blogs actually
at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, this is really good. So you guys, let's kind of look at this. I know we're at the top. We're at the hour here. I'm going to take 2 more minutes just to kind of explain, because these are good. Take a look, guys. When you upload your videos, you're going to have an option to geotag the video itself inside of YouTube. Chris and Sal have done a good job right there, Houston. So that way they know where that's at. The title here, go ahead and put what this is about. We'll go ahead and help you adjust that title if needed in the future. The point is to get it live, but this should be as descriptive. At the end of the day, this should always be a keyword, but you're not going to know that. That's where you get our help, right? So you're going to give us your best description in there. And if we feel it should be changed to match a blog post or a city page or whatever, we'll help you do that. The other thing is here, if you didn't know, they did a great job right here. They took a summary of what they talked about in here. They took a summary of that. Bam, put it right here. I'm assuming, Sal, right here, but that's what it should be.
It's kind of like the script almost of what we said. Which
is fine. Yeah. You'll take it, you'll put it in here, and look at this. This is where the power comes from. Then they added a backlink. Thank you, Sal. This is actually, you follow.
I wish I could take credit. Chris did it. I wish I could take credit.
Right on. So this should link If we were talking about a very specific topic that we have an existing blog post on our website, this would go to that blog post. If we were talking about a city, right, this would go to the city page, right? This becomes a backlink, a vote for that particular page, which will help the ranking for that particular page. And we'll be covering more detail on YouTube. We're not there yet, but we'll be covering. I have some stuff that we'll be going over for YouTube specific. But right now, I know we're talking about how to optimize our service pages, our about page, our city pages. This is a big part. And at the end of the day, I don't want you guys getting stuck on trying to optimize. I'd rather you guys get content out there and then come back and optimize it. That's allowed. That's part of the game. Good. So any questions on video since I have this up here?
Okay, so we joined late, and this is Marie with Liz's name on the bottom of the screen. So don't be confused, Roger.
You're good.
But anyway,
you're good.
So we have, and actually we just videoed today 3 new videos because we created 3 new location pages. So we did intro videos for each one. But we don't have one on our About Us page. So actually, right as we joined this, you were talking about that. So we have a welcome to our website on the main website. And then we have videos on our welcome pages, and we have videos on a thank you for opting in video and videos on a bunch of our blogs. But you're speaking specifically about the About Us page to another video, so people could see more of the 2 of us talking about ourselves.
Correct. Talking about your brand. but
which
yes.
is Liz and Marie. So we're talking about ourselves.
Exactly. Your particular brand is you guys. So it's awesome. So what I would recommend, Marie, is definitely kind of creating a unique one for the About page specifically. Once again, it's exactly what you just said, and it's an SEO play. It seems like it's overkill. What you're doing, you're trying to kind of separate and use every single piece of digital asset that's out there that you can to create those signals. That's all you're doing. And that's why sometimes it does feel like it's like, man, that's a lot. But in reality, all you're doing is creating an entire aura around your brand. That's basically, you're creating as many signals out there that you can to do that. And if you really look at how Google works, and you see how, it has an asset here and it kind of connects and it all works with links, that's what we're helping you create for your asset, for your brand. So Google does that for its own brand. That's how it has millions, or trillions at this point, of web pages around it. What Google loves is for you to create that for a brand. You create all those signals around it, and that helps it identify what the brand is, what it does, where it's located, and basically all the votes then starts adding value to it. And then it compares that to your competition. And at the end of the day, what our research has shown, we're excited. Sean and I are excited because in our space, in real estate, basically real estate investing, there's very little competition when it comes to this level of SEO. And that's why we want to really start slow in 2022, go back, make sure all the foundation is all set up. Some of you guys that can be there, upgrade you guys to where it's at and set you up. So at the end of this year, you guys will have a Google looking brand kind of entity that's set up for you. So yeah, we'll kind of be hitting it. One of the takeaways, or not takeaways, one of the action items, Marie, is going to be that video for your About page. Sal, I think that would be a good one for you to come next week and say, boom, we got it in there. That's basically what we got done.
Okay, cool. And then quick question. We just started putting our weekly live updates into podcast form. So do you recommend that we have a separate page that lives on our website that has links to all the podcasts?
I actually would recommend it. If you have time to kind of make the list, and we can create a podcast page, a lot like we have on the TRC website. We can actually even make it a little simpler, so it's easy to upload the episodes. My big thing is to be able to link over to the live, for example, if it's on wherever it might be, right? Whatever you're using for your podcast. We link over there, right? And then in the description, you can actually link back to the specific page as well for your podcast. So now it almost works like YouTube. Go ahead, Sean.
You're streaming from StreamYard, right?
Yep.
So it's on YouTube. So all you need to send over is the embed code for the YouTube video. And then I would send over, I'm actually going to make this change on ours this year. Start sending over the link to embed the iTunes audio part, not the Anchor part.
Okay.
So that we get iTunes on there from an audio, you get the YouTube video embed. And then you want to take it a whole other step deeper. That's where you write a small, basically your description of that live, that update, paragraph or two, and that becomes the episode page.
Okay. And that's what we kind of have right now because when we do that live, we're doing it off of basically a blog format. So we're creating that blog format. We're speaking that on the live, and then we upload the blog onto the website right now. And then I basically take snippets of that and use it as like the YouTube or the StreamYard description, which pushes it out to YouTube and everything else. And then I was kind of doing the same thing, going back and putting the link to that direct blog on the website that had the video on it and all that kind of, to try and get those.
So instead of uploading it as a blog, all we're going to do is upload it into a different section for the podcast section.
Audio.
Now.
Yeah.
But it's the same content. You already are uploading that piece. All we're going to do now is pop the embed code of YouTube and pop the embed code of iTunes.
Okay.
We do iTunes or Spotify. I'm actually going to test both. I might add both just to see which one starts getting more traction.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all you're doing there, once again, it feels like, why am I doing all these little things? Every time you do that, you're creating another signal. Think of your competition. How many brand signals are out there for your competition? And you will outrank your competition very fast with all these different things that you're doing. Every time you ping that, that's what's going to help us kind of get you to where you need to be. So, hey, there's there's Liz. All right.
In the background.
Yes, you're good.
Look, we have our green screen up because we were recording videos today.
There you go. Good job. All right, guys. Any other questions? We're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. Any other questions you guys have? Go ahead, Kim.
My one question is on the about page, the heading that you had, is that necessary for, I guess, Google ranking? Because I've seen pages with and without it.
Yeah, so I'm going to actually share your about page. We'll look at your specific one. Let me see here. All right, Kim. So now we're on Onyx Homes here. This is about us. And Kim, are you talking about this here or where?
No, further down where the bio is.
Okay. Here, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're talking about is the heading basically like, do we need a heading here?
Yeah.
There's two options here. It's not needed like 100%. Why? Because we already have, this is basically we already have an H1 telling Google this is the about page, and an H2 telling Google this is the company where we start kind of hitting the branded. I'm glad you pointed that out, because now that you pointed that out, I'm going to I'm probably going to tell the team to add another H2 because I want another opportunity to hit the brand name. So since you have more sections than our standard, right? Because you've added more stuff. This is actually a great example. I'm glad you told us to show this.
Really good.
This is where it's at. They have video, they have an image, they have content. And here she's giving me another opportunity. Not that it's 100% needed, but if we can do it, why not? Is we can actually put the company name in an H2 tag, right? A title tag. Here just gives Google another signal of what the brand name is. So I'll kind of put that on my notes and get that done for you, Kim. That's actually a good one.
Okay, thanks.
Way to listen, Kim.
Guys. Go ahead. Yeah, video. If you wanted to kind of, this is onyxhomes.llc.com. Go to the about page, see how they created their welcome video. This is awesome. Then you
all of you should go watch that video. Gene is the star of that one.
And then just kind of if it's a one man, one woman show, just a picture of you guys, a professional shot. If it's a team like Sal and Chris, it'd be you and Chris there, whatever it might be, just a picture of the team. And that'll give us an opportunity to kind of like geotag and optimize that image as well, just to have some kind of media. Now you got Kim basically nailed it here.
Sal, you should have a picture with you and Chris the exact same way.
I'm working on a more professional picture.
I agree.
No, Kim, I love that picture.
I like it. Yeah. No, this is real, right? This is like, this is awesome. It's good.
Can it be Chris sitting on Sal's lap?
Oh, that'd be great.
That would hurt me. That would hurt me. You know, I wrestled in high school and college, and when he was a kid, I used to be able to take him and knock him down. Now I got to kick him between the legs to take him down, you know?
Don't you want grandkids? Don't do that.
I'll get a video.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I'll get a video of him crying at the event in a few weeks. I'll send it to you.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here just so it doesn't go too long. All right.